Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nick. This is Sales and Trails. Thanks for joining me on my flipping adventure. Today, we're actually changing it up a little bit. Normally we would have a sales on a Thursday and then we'd have a walk-in video on the weekend. However, because of the weather, it's been appalling. We've had a lot of rain, we've had a lot of wind. It's not gonna be a lot of walking and going on. I'm gonna try and get out there if I can. So we're gonna change it up then. So we're gonna have the sales more on the weekend and then whatever we can do then in the week. Probably do mixtures. I've got loads of options of videos to choose from, but this one today is actually going to be an overview of the Tenby trip, how much it cost, a breakdown, and a little bit of overview of all the videos and where we went, and generally if it's worth taking your kids on a staycation. So me, Amy and Ffion went on a 6-day, 5-night trip down to West Wales, Pembrokeshire, stayed in a place called, well, just outside of Tenby actually. It was called Sunnyvale, the caravan site. It's a sister site to Myrtle, the one which my partner Amy used to be a frequent visitor to. But we went on the 11th of July to the 16th of July, so it was just before the school holidays for the kids. So it was a little bit cheaper when it comes to it. But here's a breakdown of everything that we spent. As you can see, you could probably do it for cheaper, but we decided to eat out a couple of times. We had Chinese, we had trips to like Folly Farm, and to be honest, we spent quite a lot on food and drink for the caravan itself. But yeah, we're gonna go over the videos now and just have a little breakdown of everything that we've done. So the answer to the question itself, is it worth taking your children on a staycation or going abroad? The answer is yes, in short term. It is just as expensive, I will say that, but it does depend on what you do. I do say, however, that it's a lot easier when it comes to figuring out what you're going to do. Transport, not being on a plane also helps, and the fact that it's just not that far from home. And the question is, would I do it again? And this is a simple answer, yes. I've already been looking into a couple of trips, again in Wales. It's like I say, it's not far from home. I know the rough sort of ideas of the places, and to be honest, there's a lot of really cool castles in the local areas, so I can get some great footage from those places at the same time. I really enjoy that, and I know Amy quite enjoys it, and it's nice to have Ffion go see those places as well. And it's all on our doorstep. So what I'm going to do in this video really is show you what we did and basically how much it cost. So like I said, we left on the 11th of July. It was a Friday. It wasn't open until about 4 o'clock for us to go in. The caravan itself actually cost us about £520 for the 5 nights. When you break it down, it's about 50 quid each per day, which is not a bad thing really. I think that's quite fair. But yeah, we left on that day and then we went down on the first day. We didn't do too much. I didn't want to do too much filming. I was going to do a little bit about the clubhouse and whatnot, but I thought I'll leave it. We just had a chill and went to the clubhouse. Ffion had a dance on the dance floor. We had a bit of grub there. The food was actually pretty good in Sunnyvale, so if you do go there, check out the clubhouse, it's alright. And the beer, all on the pricey side, but it's still a good selection there. So Saundersfoot was our first objective on the second day. We went there, we wanted to make sure that Ffion went to the sea. It'd be the first time she'd go on a beach. It'd be nice for me and Amy to go back there and revisit the place that we spent, I think it was our second holiday when we got together like 7 years ago, I think it was now. God, time's flown by. But yeah, really enjoyed Saundersfoot. It was nice to get down there, nice to enjoy the sun, get in the ocean, enjoy Ffion frolicking in the water. It was fantastic. Would I go there with her again? I would like to do it when she's a little bit older, purely because it's just easier to get about than having the pram, and we can just not have the pram there and be able to go down from the close side down on where the village is basically and walk down then. We could also carry on then maybe even down to Wiseman's Bridge, I think it is. That'd be nice just to be able to have a beer down there in a bit more of a quiet sort of area. But yeah, overall Saundersfoot was fantastic. Should also mention, apart from petrol, or diesel in my case, and parking, didn't need to spend anything really. I think we actually spent probably about 30-40 quid on our meal. We had a beer, and I think we had 2 gammons then. Amy had a boba tea, and then we had a couple of extra little bits and extra nibbles, but it was actually a relatively cheap day. Tenby then, on the 3rd day. Now Tenby is a different kettle of fish when it comes to just the sheer size of the beaches. For example, you have I can't remember the name of it now, but it's the massive one side of the beach, and then you have the harbour side. The harbour side is really nice, just to have more of a chill, sort of relaxed. That's why we decided to take Ffion on that side instead of the really, really big beach. It was actually extremely busy on that side. There's lots of history there when it comes to the 5 Arches. There's the fort as well, come to think of it then, and obviously you got Carew Castle as well. Lovely to have a little bit of ice cream and some fish and chips, though I missed the fish. I just had some chips with curry sauce, but it was still a great day. Overall, same again, apart from parking, a little bit of grub, and I think we bought some drinks from the Tesco's or wherever it was there. Actually a very cheap day again. There was something about the beaches which, you know, when Ffion was just having a little laugh, you know, picking up the shells and just enjoying having the sand in between her toes. It just made the holiday in itself, just those 2 first days of going to Saundersfoot and to Tenby. For her, you know, new experiences, for us just to be able to enjoy. Because the one thing we did have, which I should have mentioned at the start of the video, is big concerns when it comes to taking her anywhere really, was because we never went before. We're first time parents, and we were concerned that she would not sleep properly in a caravan. We were concerned that basically it would cause, she'd just be a mischievous girl, which she is normally anyway, but it all fizzles out really quickly, which is making us sort of a lot more confident about going abroad with her. So right after Tenby, I decided to go to Bosherston Lily Ponds and Broadhaven Beach. Absolutely insane. Those lily ponds are fantastic. If you have the chance to go to them, it's well worth the walk. It's a very short walk, mind, but it's worth it when you get down to Broadhaven Beach also, you know, lovely sort of partially secluded beach. There was a fair few people there, but it was a lot quieter than I thought it would be compared to Tenby. Just one of those places which I needed to go to. Amy been several times, she stayed in the caravan with Ffion. I just had to go do it myself and be able to get a drone down there and show the beach, have a little look around as well. It's fantastic. I'm not that confident when it comes to the actual going over the lily ponds with a drone. However, it was magical couple of hours out, and on the way back, decided to get Chinese. Cost us about 40 quid for the 3 of us. A little bit pricey, however the food was fantastic. So originally we had 2 main objectives when it came to trips out apart from like Tenby and Saundersfoot, and that was Folly Farm, and it was also Anna Ryder's Manor Park. However, unfortunately, we never made it to Manor Park. We was meant to go on the 6th day, but Amy fell ill, so we just came home. But on the 4th day, we went to Folly Farm. It cost us, I think it was about £20 each to get in. So not super cheap, but when you go in there, and if you look at the video, there's loads to do. There's lions there, there's giraffes there, there's rhinos there, there's loads of different things. You had the penguins, you had all the sort of reptiles and whatnot, like little crocodiles and all that there, or alligators or mini dwarf crocodiles. But anyway, yeah, there's loads of different things. But at the same time, if you've got kids who are a little bit older, there's the carnival sort of thing inside, there's the play areas, there's the barn, there's the farm area where you got all the sort of sheep and the pigs and everything like that. It's just so much there to do that it's well worth the money to go there for the day out. I would love to go there again when Fion's a little bit older, just because I get to allow her to experience it in its entirety. When you're a little bit younger, it is hard to fully enjoy the day. But then again, it's well worth it. If you're in the area, I would go to it. And if you've never heard of it before, have a look at the website. I'll put it in the link in the description. After that, we decided it was a little bit too early just to do nothing, so we thought we'll get some grub out. We went to Amroth. That was a big surprise to me. Amroth, the village itself, lovely little pristine sort of tidy little coastal village. like I mentioned in the video, that they do these sort of pickups when it comes to the waste and trash on the beach. But then I didn't realise that they had a castle. I didn't realise the history of the village itself when it came to World War II as well. So it was a good surprise there in itself. The food there, we went to one of the pubs further down towards the castle. Cost about 50 quid for the 2 beers and the 2 mains. I can't exactly remember what we had. I think I had a burger. We both had like big burgers or something like that. But yeah, fantastic food as well. But it would have been nice to have been able to had a bit more of a clearer day. It was very windy at that point. Like I said, Folly Farm that day, the 4th day, is when the weather started turning a little bit. We had extremely good weather. I got a little bit sunburnt on Saundersfoot, sort of Tenby side, and then it cooled down later on in the week. But that was an amazing surprise, Amroth. In between all these days, man, I should make you aware, when it comes to the clubhouse in Sunnyvale, they also had other amenities there as well. So there was a swimming pool, like a heated swimming pool. We took Ffion first time swimming. She loved it. We went a couple of times. Yeah, just as if you ever get a chance to go down that way, I would pick Sunnyvale over Myrtle. Purely the price is, fantastic for what it was, and there's lots of extra things, and it's really central as well. So like I said, we had that Chinese that was literally down the road. Saundersfoot is 5-10 minutes in the car. Tenby's 15-20 minutes tops. Bosherston Lily Ponds was about half hour. Carew Castle was about 20 minutes. You're really, really central. But that actually brings us on to the 5th day, which is Carew Castle. We decided to have a really relaxed day. I went to the driving range in Heatherton, which is right opposite Manor Park, actually. I should have said Manor Park's really local as well, and Folly Farm. But yeah, when they knocked a couple of buckets of balls, made me really want to get back into golf. I just don't have the time right now, and it's going to be quite expensive because I need to get custom clubs. But yeah, chilled out morning, went to Carew Castle then, early afternoon. Mind blown, what a fantastic castle. And I didn't even know about the tidal mill either, being the only one in Wales. But that castle was phenomenal, very well maintained. It reminded me very much of like Carew Castle, not just the look of it really, but just the quality of the actual work that was done when it comes to the castle, and similar sort of awe really. Obviously Carew Castle has a bit more of the round turret sort of towers compared to Carew, but Carew is still fantastic. But yeah, that really then, at the end of that night then, I decided to go to Co-op, had a couple more beers in the caravan, and I also done a steak dinner as well. So that's why the prices of our food and everything that went up a little bit. Decided to splurge a little bit. I should also mention actually that Carew Castle is roughly about £20 for both of us. Ffion gets free in all these locations, so if you've got a youngster, I think it's up to like the age of 2 or age of 3, I think it is, any less than 3 or 4 years old, or 5, I don't know, it's in that range anyway. They're usually going for free, so that's always a plus when it comes to a staycation as well, that we tend to have stuff for free really when it comes to places of interest. And then like I said, the 6th day, it wasn't my cooking that done this, but Amy fell ill. Couldn't really do much on the 6th day then, just needed to really get her home, get her into bed, get her relaxed, and let her ride the waves really when it comes to being ill. But kind of wraps up the video in itself. Like I said, it wasn't going to be too much into it. It's just sort of a breakdown of the actual trip itself, and really answering the question of would you take your kids on a staycation or take them abroad. And for me, staycation is very good for a first holiday. It's relatively cheap, it's easy, you know exactly what's there, and at the same time it's just so much more accessible. There's no planes, there's no airports, there's no worrying about, are they going to be all right? Is it going to be too hot? Is it going to be too cold? Because we're used to this climate of where we are. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit of a different one, but I'm hoping to get at least 1 or 2 more walking videos out there soon. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.